Okay, so this is essentially day one, and I'm going to insert my nose tube, my NG tube. I'm using an 8 French ENT fitting with a Daub Hoff, and you can see the tip's got a little bit of a Y because it's got a stylus. And yeah, this is I think a 60 cc syringe. It's got the ENT fitting, so it's kind of nice. It just clips right onto the end of your NG tube so it doesn't slip out when you're trying to inject fluids and things like that. I tried to fill my tummy with a little bit of liquid ahead of time so that I could aspirate that and just double check that the tube is in my stomach, not my lungs, although I'm pretty sure I'd be coughing up like mad if it did go into my lungs. But I think the tip has some kind of coating on it where if you warm it up a little bit, it goes down easier. So I just stuck it right into my coffee. Yep, I could be wearing gloves, but it's my own dirt and my hands are washed. And it does seem a little bit weird to stick the end in coffee, but it's all going into my stomach anyway. I've already measured and I'm at 45 centimeters. That's really hard to see on the camera. I'm trying to show it you here, but I just have no idea how cameras focus on these numbers. I can't get my eyes to focus on these numbers, so anyway, that does say 45, I think. And often they tell you like mark it with a Sharpie. But the thing is, if I'm putting that up my nose, I can't see the Sharpie line. It's too close to my nose. My eyes can't see that. One time I used a piece of tape, but then it's a bit of a pain in the butt to get the tape off. So here I decided to use an elastic band to mark as far as I want to go, right? Because I'm self-inserting it, I need to know when to stop. So yeah, so here I am, somehow incapable of getting this elastic band on. My hands are really dry and my nails are so short that I'm having a hard time like picking at things and pulling at things. You'll see me farting around in this video with little things. Anyway, so I marked that, getting all ready. I probably wasn't as ready as I could be, but I'm pretty good at rolling with the punches. So here we go. Coffee dipped end. That's the Dobhoff tip. It's supposed to be more comfortable for people, but I completely disagree. I've used a standard tip and the Dobhoff tip, and this one sucks when it goes around the edge. You'll see me kind of making faces. It's kind of uncomfortable for sure when it just goes around the nasal cavity there. Ooh. Like it's not painful, it's just not comfortable at all. And then it feels really weird going in. I had got Bell's palsy a couple weeks ago. Uh, so half my face just doesn't have the same muscle control, and I have a really hard time like getting my mouth like wrapped around a straw. So using a straw here would have been a lot easier to just drink liquid and let the tube slide down my throat, but I had to drink it out of a cup. And I just kind of went right up to that elastic mark. And you could tell here, had it been a Sharpie mark, I would have no idea where to stop. Of course, yes, my eyes are watering, which is pretty typical when you're messing around with your nose. But yeah, so there's the Y tip. There's a stylus on one end, and there is the second port that I'm going to use. Now, I forgot about this kind of until the moment, but last time I did the NG tube, what I found was the because it's a Y end and the stylus is in one end, it's not like perfectly airtight. So when you connect to the other end and then you're trying to suction up the contents of your stomach, it hasn't created a proper suction because of the stylus. So of course, as I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, right. So I'm trying to fart around a little bit here with my hands, trying to figure out like, how am I going to get my fingers wrapped around the stylus to stop any air from kind of leaking in. So yeah, this is the first attempt here and it's clearly not going to work. And then I tried to use my mouth because that's what I did last time and it totally worked. I just kind of wrapped my lips around the stylus and that sealed it so that I could. aspirate the contents from my stomach. So trying that here and it didn't work either. And I'm like, shoot, what am I gonna do? Yeah, like nothing's coming up. But I know at this point it's in my stomach. If that was in my lungs, I'd be hurting. So there I am thinking about it. And I decided, let's go get some parafilm. I love parafilm. It's so fun to play with, and I have some. So that's what I'm using here. I just kind of seal the port where the stylus is. And I don't want to take the stylus out at this point because if you take it out, it's actually kind of uncomfortable when it's in. When you take it out, you get a little bit of relief. But I don't want to take it out yet until I'm sure it's all in the right place. Otherwise, you have to try and like get the stylus back in. And if you kink the stylus on the way out, it's hard to get it back in. And anyway, best to leave it in until you know you have it in the right place. So pretty much just sealing up the gaps. I probably went around way too much. You'll see me later farting around trying to get it off again. So, and I did. I kind of messed around a bunch of times, and then I realized, you know what? I did a whole bunch of checking. I was like, maybe maybe I need to go deeper into my nose. Maybe I have the wrong number marked. So I checked that. I drank more liquid. Had my partner go get me some more coffee. That's what I was filling my tummy with, was some coffee that had some keto V in it. And you could actually see in the style or in the this syringe right here that I actually did get a little bit out of my stomach here, right? I just paused the camera while I was waiting for more liquid, and then it's a bit mucusy, but it was in my stomach. And that's all I really care about. A little bit stripping in. So, good times. So I've got it in the right place, and now it's time to seal that up and take off the stylus. Take out the stylus, I should say. Here's where my sore fingers come into play. I can't seem to get this off very gracefully, but whatever. Figured it out. You can see a little bit of the Bell's palsy in my face here. I don't know why that happened. It's like 95% better, but I think I just got run down, and then I'm just one of those lucky people where instead of just getting a cold like a normal person, I got to get Bell's palsy. Okay, we almost got this parafilm off. Really fun stuff, but I might have put a little too much on. So there we go. Stylus comes out. Tried to wrap it nicely in case, not kink it. It's pretty long, actually. This tube, I think, might have been, I think, more than 43. What is this? Well, it's 43 centimeters was the mark, or 45 centimeters was the marker on my nose, but it was a long NG tube. I could have had a much shorter one. I did this did wrap this up and then just kind of keep it, get it off to the side. And you can see the CGM I've got on. So graceful here, right? Some dirty old elastic band hanging from my nose, a tube hanging from my nose. Snot coming out. Anyway, it's real. Oh yeah, Tegaderm. Love this stuff. I tend to react to like so many adhesives, um, medical tape especially, but the Tegaderm I love. So These are actually great for so many things, but I'm going to use this to stick it to the side of my face. No point cleaning the side of my face because I had just woken up already, washed my face. It was clean. I didn't have makeup on or cream or anything like that underneath. There's my awesome kitty in the background, Juno. There we go. I just kind of made sure that my elastic marker was right at the edge of my nostril. Tape it on using the Tegaderm. And now off comes the elastic. I had a hard time getting my little fingers around that too, but there we go. My eyes watered for a little bit, but well, there was so much relief when the stylus came out. That's pretty much done. Here I like to just tuck it around my ear, and then I've got all that extra cable, so I just tuck it into my ponytail, believe it or not. It's the easiest way. It kind of keeps it from having to have this like weird cord underneath my shirt. And then I just have to make sure that there's no kink in it, right? So it's just kind of got big loops. Throw that in. There we go. All done.